that. That's some kick-ass graphics right there, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, the 12th of April, 2022. Not just Taco Tuesday. Here at the Tim Benenbrook Show, it is $10,000 Tuesday. And if you're new to the show, well, so for about a month, qualified people. Sure. I'm going to take the sweeper out there. Okay. I'll be right back. Stream people. Yeah, that's right. We're headed for a call. We're going to make a call this morning and make somebody $10,000 richer. We've got secret show tickets, right? Straight up 8 o'clock. And in 2 songs, we'll find out who you thought had the best draft of our favorite sounds. Now, Brooke said there's 3 of us that are pretty close and one that's just doesn't have a chance.
This might have broken a record for low. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
I didn't think anybody had that bad of choices.
I have a little cramp feeling in my tummy all of a sudden. K&IX. So we qualified people to win $10,000. Today we're going to actually give the $10,000 away. And Jennifer, I see you. She's one of the people who qualified. Woo! Hello, Danette. Alice. Alexander Hamilpack. No, it's not a nationwide contest. It is a K&IX only. Call me.
Oh, thank you. 3 votes? Yes.
Oh, here's Jennifer's qualified. So is Rochelle. I know. Brooke, Rochelle and Jennifer on your prayer list to win.
But who am I praying to win? Because if
you
I
just
put them,
pray for them both and let the Lord, in His wisdom, His infinite wisdom, He can sort it out.
see, I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to put those types of things on the prayer list because, like Duke winning, you're not supposed to put them on the prayer list.
Well, you didn't put Duke. You didn't put Duke. Oh, okay. All right. Thanks. Let's hope this Mike Krzyzewski isn't watching right now. He's going to be coach not okay. Lord is like, what? I don't have time. If you got to put these requests in, you got to give me like a 20-minute notice.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah. I thought I'd mention this later. I've actually won $10,000 on the Pyramid Game show.
What did you do with it?
Well, I mean, I say I won it. I found out taping the show that it had already been spent by my kids. So they do a little cutaway before one of the commercials, and Donny Osmond's pulled the con out of the audience, and I didn't know this was going to happen. It's like, hey, you guys already have plans for the money if he wins it, right? It's like, yeah, they want quads. So I told them we'd get quads if your dad won. I'm like, okay, thanks a lot. Thanks for checking with me.
Mm.
All right. Playing the new Keith Urban song. Look at that. $10,000 contenders wishing each other luck. Well, on the one hand, you bring up a very good point, Alexander. Name something at this studio that's not broke. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Take us up. Thursday? Beryl, you doing one Thursday? 4 o'clock. Yes. We rode the quads for a couple of seasons, and they were sitting out, a lot to that story. They were on a trailer outside. We had a little side yard thing, called it the compound. And then after a couple of years, they didn't ride them anymore, and they just sort of sat out in the sun. And I'm like, I've got a nephew up in Colorado with a young kid. And they had a quad for him, and I go, Davey, do you want these quads? I go, I'll just give them to you. He says, that's awesome. So his dad met me to pick up the quads. I just gave him the quads. But driving the quads down to meet my brother, who was going to fix them up, the tires blew out on my trailer because it just sat there in the sun. It's like no good deed goes unpunished. All right. Here come the picks. Thanks to the people at Level 5 Lighting. We pick a topic every week on a Monday and draft different things. And yesterday, our topic was our favorite sounds that we like to hear in our ear holes. And let's see, Level 5 Lighting, thank you very much for sponsoring that. Now, we put it up to vote on our Instagram, and it's now 24 hours later. It's time to see who you think had the best picks. Brooke, you went first.
I did, and I picked the sound of a baby laughing. I mean, best sound in the world. A crackling fire, campfire. And for my last one, acoustic guitar.
Okay. I'm Tim. I went second with a thunderstorm, ocean waves, and Suns announcer Al McCoy saying, Shazam!
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it.
That means we just hit a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
All right. I went third. I picked a waterfall, the sound of applause, and electric guitars.
This is Barrow, and I wrapped it up with rain, military jets, and cracking a beer.
All right, coming in last place, and this is a record for 2022 for lowest amount of votes.
Yep.
26 votes, Ben.
What is so bad about any of my picks?
I
They're
didn't
just not
say they
good.
were bad. I like all those sounds.
All right.
I mean, okay. Don't get offended. In third place with 124 votes, Barrel Boy.
Whoa.
Coming in second place with 164 votes, Tim Hattrick.
Oh,
and coming in first place, 246 votes, myself. It was the baby laughter.
Yeah, the baby cry.
There's no better sound on this planet.
Well, I know. If I'd have just had a baby, though.
Ben with, what was it, 26?
26, yeah.
I don't get it.
Congratulations, Ben.
Thank you.
That's something to be proud of right there.
Number one and being worst.
Ben is actually very proud of something one of his offspring just achieved.
Yeah.
Something we've all done, the rite of passage of getting your driver's license. We're going to find out how that went. And we may even open up the phones for teenage driver confessions. Ben doesn't have time to listen to sounds. He's teaching teenagers to drive.
Yeah. the sound of the engine going off.
Yeah. Yeah.
After you've made it home alive.
Yeah. The sound of the
Ugh,
security system being set when they come home at night.
rubbish. Oof.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm wearing some Adidas. This is my. Jill said she's enjoying our shoe this morning.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's good.
Hello, Becky Marie. Did you get the job, by the way? Look for the towering, imposing figure of Alexander Hamilpeck on Thursday, Bear Boy. With you. Okay. You just answered my question. I was thinking maybe we'd go here. Okay. Sweepy here, we'll tease it up, Lady A, and we'll talk it up. We'll talk it up, data check.
Like,
Well, gosh. If guys dumped women just based on their bad driving, Brooke would die an old maid.
Oh, honey.
But then we found out Brian drove the car into the garage, into the building.
Yeah.
The side of the garage.
yeah, not
So-
me.
So you are a match made in Mako.
Now all of a sudden people like we were in this thing like exchange your tickets. So I posted on social. Everyone's like, "Oh, I saw people are reaching out." I'm like, my secret show tickets. I still have them from 2020. I'm like,
Oh,
because I can't keep track of everyone I gave them to. Like, when we popped
That's
up.
those are the kind of people like me that would be like, I'd hear about it, but I wouldn't do anything about it until the very last minute.
My Ford Focus? No, I do not miss that car. It every time I turned it on, it made a sound, and I just had to turn up the music. That was my solution.
Check.
Brooke, back sell it.
Old Dominion, one man band, 1025, KNIX. They performed last night at the CMT Awards. They were
Cool.
outside
Yeah.
and they sounded good.
Good. They sounded good when they were here for the concert at the Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
And the last real secret show we had, which the next one's coming up finally, and you can win your tickets today at 8, noon, 2, and 4. It is a rite of passage getting your driver's license, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's also a rite of passage being a parent and teaching your kid to drive and waiting nervously while they see if they pass. And that just happened for one Ben Campbell. We'll find out about it in 2 songs. KNIX. There was a kid in our neighborhood, my kid's age, who, when she turned 16, her parents gave her a used car,
Yeah.
but she didn't drive it. She didn't get a license for 2 years because it was a manual transmission, stick shift. I was like, golly.
I'd stick to the buzzer light rail.
Uh-huh. Oh,
That's probably a good idea.
yeah. Highlight for Brooke was the Judds. So much so
Yeah.
that she is trying to book a trip to go see him on their little limited tour.
I know. And they're playing like places that are not easy to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, Nashville would be still across the country, but it's the biggest city. The rest are towns in Oklahoma and South Dakota,
Yeah.
making it hard to get there. But I'm trying.
They're a very flyover state kind of group.
I love South Dakota though. I told you that was my little hidden gem. North Dakota, can't say I'll be back.
I drove a delivery van that had 3 on the tree. First concert was the Judds.
Tim, I know you were wanting an update. Crash has arrived at his party. He made it on time.
Crash is at his Easter party.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's just been feeling really neglected lately. And we think he's depressed because he's not eating his breakfast until a little bit later.
Yeah.
Um,
So here's an idea. Let's take him to a place with a big, scary, furry stranger and then give him some chocolate eggs. What could possibly go wrong?
no, they put well, he does get to meet the Easter bunny, but they put bunny ears on him and have him pose, and it's fun for him.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. He loves those parties. He went to a pizza party, he went to Memorial Day cookout, he went to a 4th of July party, Valentine's party.
I have to get the clip of one of my favorite comics, Sebastian Maniscalco, talking about people taking their pets to go get a picture with Santa.
Oh, you saw Crash's picture with Santa.
Mm. Oof. Yeah, Brooke won with a crying baby.
Crying?
I mean, laughing baby, sorry. Wow. Wow, as Christopher Walken would say.
I mean, the driver's ed car caught on fire when I was taking driver's ed. It wasn't my fault.
Did anybody have simulators?
Shit, no.
I don't
Okay, it was
think-
like a a big trailer, like a mobile home size trailer, with a bunch of cars in it that looked like bumper cars, but it was a little, simulated automobile. And then they'd play a movie up on the front of the trailer, and everybody would have to do the right thing in the car. Like it was a little giant video game, really.
No, we didn't have that in Durham, North
We didn't do
Carolina.
that, but we learned how to parallel park with golf carts.
Oh, we didn't have to parallel park. That wasn't part of the
Yeah, that's
license.
a skill. That's the skill that I still have. That.
Yeah, that is a skill.
But our driver's ed teacher, Mr. Pruitt, was a geometry teacher, and he slept with a student and got fired. So that's who
Yeah.
taught me how to drive.
All right, we're 90 out. You got this, Benjo?
Oh boy, I'm glad you asked. Yes, I think. I mean,
Let's ride on it. Just give me the ball, coach.
Learning to drive with my dad.
I can't imagine.
I went home crying to my mom. But please don't make me do this again. We were in the car. He had his note cards. He would shuffle them up and tell me I couldn't get my license until I knew how to get to the hospital, the police station, all these
This is
things.
awesome.
So he would shuffle them, pull out a card, and say, "All right, turn around. There's
That's-
just been an emergency. Go to the hospital."
That's so funny. I did something very similar.
And then he goes, "This is what he did." He goes, "Ring, ring, ring, ring." I'm like, "What's that?" He goes, "It's the phone." So I said, "Hello?" He goes, "Wrong. Never answer the phone while driving." What? And then I went home and I was in tears, and my mom was just, "Oh gosh."
$1025 KNIX. It's Tim Bendenbrook on a $10,000 Tuesday. If you qualified as one of our $10,000 callback people, along with the Accident Law Group, and your phone rings around 8:30, pick it up. Even if you don't recognize, I don't know what our number looks like when we call anymore. I don't. But no matter what it says, answer it, because that could be your $10,000 on the line.
Even if it says the Canadian Pharmacy, which always calls you,
Yeah,
it
right?
could be us.
Or for all I know, it might be, does this guy call you scam lately? Scam likely? Yeah.
Yeah.
no,
I
I
don't
get
know it.
I get potential spam.
Yeah.
That's what I
Anyway,
get.
so that's coming up this morning. We're excited about that. Secret Show tickets as well. Ben just graduated a driver out onto the streets of the greater Phoenix area. How is young? Is it Colin?
Colin, yeah.
How is he as a driver?
Well, he got the permit, his learner's permit, a couple of weeks back, and I haven't really had a chance to go out with him and go driving until last Sunday. And then we went again yesterday, and I'm just very surprised at how good he is. I'm like, man, you are. I don't think you're ready for the highways, Dad. I think I'm ready for the highway. So we go out on the.
Wow.
He's changing lanes. He's merging enough. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I'm like, how did you learn to do this? And I'm thinking, maybe it's Grand Theft Auto, where our next stop is to go rob a liquor store. Can you parallel park in the liquor store? I'll be back in 10 minutes, Dad. I go, how did you learn to drive? So this is not normal. Like
No.
when Parker drove, I was getting more gray hair than I already have.
Yeah.
Just stop. But he's like Steve McQueen behind the wheel. Old
Wow.
reference. I'm like, how did you learn to drive this way? He's like, well, my brother's been taking me out on the highway for the last 2 weeks. I'm like,
nice,
which
nice.
I guess they didn't know you have to be 21 to
Mhm.
be the accompanying driver.
They didn't know. They're teenage boys. They knew, and they're just
Yeah.
going to do what they're going to do.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
crazy.
remembered to tell him not to drive with Colin. He's not old enough.
So he doesn't have his license yet. He's got some more driving to do, or either you or your son can take him. Right?
Yeah.
Man.
But aren't you kind of glad he did that, though? Because now he's an excellent driver.
Well, I don't know if it's legal, but at the same time, you're right, Brooke. I am glad. My sister did it for me, right?
Yeah.
But I shouldn't probably be telling this. But hey,
Wow.
no harm, no foul, right? He's a great driver now. Thanks, Parker.
I taught 6 teenagers to drive, 5 of them girls. This is why I drink Jack Daniels, people. My oldest, Emily, great, student, good, smart person. But I'm like, okay, let's get up to the street, make a stop. All right, fully stop. All right, now make a right turn. And she starts to turn left into traffic. And I'm like, no, you have to learn this. It started on Sesame Street, the difference between right and left. This is a life and death decision now. Focus, please.
And how many of the 6 or 5 girls cried when you were instructing?
At some point, all of them.
Can-
All of them.
can
Even my son.
Can I tell you what my dad did?
What?
Please.
Okay, so my dad, we all know America's father, is teaching me how to drive, and it didn't go well. So I can't find my way out of a wet paper bag. I'm so directionally challenged. So he took some index cards, shuffled them around, and would say, okay, now you have to find your way to the hospital.
Great.
As I was driving, and he'd be like, oh, there's been an emergency, go to the hospital. Then he'd say, nope, turn around, go to the police station. And
Well-
I was so lost. I was getting so frustrated. And then he goes, ring, 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 ring. I said, Dad, what's that? He said, it's the phone. So I said, hello? Wrong. Don't ever answer the phone while you're driving.
Trick question.
And so I came home in tears, and my mom said, what happened? I said, Dad's teaching me to drive. And so my mom took me out the next time.
And is that why you don't know which way is north or south? You don't know which way's up?
Yeah,
or
because I
down?
have PTSD from him shouting at me, go
But-
to the police station.
My daughters, I didn't need this with my son, but my daughters, I made a map. I drew a map, drew a map.
Maps.
And they had to know where the hospitals were. I drew all the mountains on the maps because that way they can look up and they can see where they are in relation to everything.
Oh my gosh,
right?
this is my dad. Oh,
But
gosh.
they had to know where they had to drive to Fashion Square Mall and the Chandler Fashion Center. I figure if they know where the malls are, they'll know how to drive. They'd be motivated to learn how to drive.
Did you make them drive to the police station, hospital, and the pool for some reason?
If you've got a good teenage driving story that could comfort Ben, please reach out to us now at 833-577-KNIX.
KNIX.
It's also funny. I go, I'm going to teach you, and I haven't done it yet. I feel bad about this. I go, you have to learn to change a tire if you get a flat.
Good call.
Right. It's something every man should know how to do. He's like, Dad, why can't I just call AAA?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That's my daughters all called me, and they always got flats in
AAA.
August. And their first couple cars were like, a Toyota Corolla, which, the thing used to change a tire on a Toyota is so flimsy.
Yeah.
So I got a 2-ton floor jack and a real T-handled lug nut wrench, and they'd call. I'd be like, I'm on it. I'd have that thing off in 7 minutes, like a NASCAR pit stop. Zzz, 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 zzz. Go, go, go. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Teenage driving stories.
Oh, I have the worst. So my daughter, I was taking her out. She had her learner's permit, and I'm like, "Be careful! Watch out! Watch out!" And she gets home. She's sobbing to her dad. "I'm never driving with her again. She's the meanest." I said, "Oh my God, you were going to run into that tree in the bush." She goes, "Oh my God, I just barely brushed it."
Give it an Arizona pinstripe.
That's funny.
Overreacting as I was afraid for my life.
Well, it's weird because you can't overreact if you're the parent or in the passenger seat. Like,
Tell my dad that.
I know. In high school, I actually had a couple of driving sessions with like the driver's ed teacher. We had a driver's ed teacher, and he had a brake on his side of the car.
Yeah.
Which he hit a couple of times. That's a little unnerving.
I know you can't drive under the influence, obviously, but can you be like the guy in the shotgun seat under the influence? Because I need a drink when I go out with this kid.
Well, yeah.
Maybe.
That's called lift, I think, pretty much. Yeah. Thanks for calling. Good morning, Kristen.
Hi there. How you doing?
We're doing okay. We're safe and sound in the studio. None of the drivers can get to us up here.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
What's your story?
Okay. The oldest is 16 right now. She just got her driver's license. But the first time I took her out with her permit, we were driving just on the side streets, and she braked a little too close to a car. And of course, I'm yelling at her and, like, brake, brake. And once you once you brake, the car kind of has like a little forward momentum. Well, she ended up bumping into the car in front of us.
No.
And
Nice.
the person insisted on calling the cops. She was
Oh,
sobbing, and it was
no.
literally her first time out on the road.
Oh,
So,
geez.
I mean, the cop was like, "You're fine, you can go." But I mean, it was very traumatizing. First time out on the
Tough luck.
road, let me
First
tell you.
day out learning to drive, and you run into Karen.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, you tell her to hang in there. Follow Brooke on Instagram, and that'll be an inspiration for how to be a good driver.
Yeah, exactly. I'm an excellent driver.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
I'd start shopping for insurance rates now. All right.
Oh, I have the worst. Morning.
Good morning, Michelle.
I'm like, be careful.
Give it an Arizona pinstripe.
That's funny.
She ended up reacting as I was afraid for my life.
Well, it's weird because you can't overreact if you're in. Burp. I think pretty much. Yeah. Thanks for calling.
Mhm.
Colin. Good morning, Kristen. Safe and sound in a.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
What's your story? Ba-ba-boom. Good morning, Kristen.
Okay. The oldest is 16 right now. She was very traumatizing. First time out on the
Tough luck.
road, let me
First
tell you.
day out learning to drive, and you run into Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. Follow Brooke on Instagram, and that'll be.
I'm an excellent driver.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Ooh. Doot, 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 doot.
Thanks, guys.
I'd start.
Thanks, guys.
I'd start shopping for insurance rates.
Thanks, guys.
Boom. Michelle. All right.
Oops.
Hey, Jill.
Hey, how are you?
Good. What's your story?
Well, I had to learn driving on a stick shift, and
Yep.
my mom thought that would be so funny, so she took me out, and I had to go up a good incline and got stuck at the top.
Oh.
So trying to get out into traffic, you have to gas clutch, and I didn't have that down yet, so I was worried I was going to roll back and hit cars. So I had traffic backed up behind me, couldn't get it out. Everybody's honking. So I just pulled up the brake, put it in park, got out, and flipped them all off.
That's one way to deal with it.
I shrugged my shoulders like, I can't do this.
That's funny.
But I think everybody should learn to drive on a stick shift because it does come in handy.
It's hard to do, though. It's hard to find cars
Yeah.
that have stick shifts these days.
My very first hoop I had to jump through
Yeah.
becoming a UPS driver. You have to go down to their Phoenix office, and they have one of their UPS vans, stick shift van. You had to hop in and drive it around for a little bit.
Remember how big
And,
of a piece of crap?
But then none of their vans that you
Yeah.
drive, they're all automatic. So it was the last time I drove a stick shift. Was for
I
that.
enjoy it now. I would love to have another stick shift.
Remember having such a piece of crap car that you had to roll start it?
Oh yeah,
and pop the clutch.
You do that with a stick, right? Anyway,
Okay,
all right.
guys.
Thanks, Jill. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Sorry, I jumped you there.
Yeah. So my daughter moved to Nicaragua to work at a coffee plantation, my baby. And while she was still here, she's like, I got to learn to drive a stick. I go, well, I know people that got stick shifts. We'll just borrow a Jeep or something. And then, she was so busy, we never worked it out. So she goes down there, and then she FaceTimes me one night and says, well, Dad, I bought a car. I go, really? Yeah, it's a stick. She taught herself to drive it after she bought it.
Jeez.
Had to drive about an hour, and Nicaragua was very hilly.
Remember when
It's called doing it the hard way.
remember when I borrowed a car from Mark Mazda and it was both?
Oh yeah.
And somehow I got stuck in the
Yeah.
stick shift and I had to call Beryl. I drove in stick shift for the first time to work. Good thing it was 4 a.m. because no one was on the road and he had to walk me through.
Brooke is like, "Hurrah!"
He's like, put it in two. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I don't know why they do that with cars now, because it's not really a stick shift because there's no clutch, but I guess some people like that thrill.
I didn't like that thrill. It's not a thrill to me.
All right.
Paddle shifters.
Today's best country and all-time favorites were Tim, Ben, and Brooke. Thanks for listening to us here and on the iHeartRadio app. Hang on, because we got Secret Show tickets in about 5 minutes, and we're giving away the $10,000 shortly from the $10,000 callback accident law group. All right. Ben is in the process of unleashing another teenage driver on the streets. Colin's got his permit, and we thought we would check in on your teenage driving horror stories. This is, let's see, this is Michelle. What's up?
Oh, I have the worst. So my daughter, I was taking her out. She had her learner's permit, and I'm like, be careful, watch out. And she gets home, she's sobbing to her dad. I'm never driving with her again. She's the meanest. I said, oh my God, you were going to run into that tree in the bush. She goes, oh my God, I just barely brushed it.
Give it an Arizona pinstripe.
Right. That's funny.
But she had to start reacting as I was afraid for my life.
Colin. Good morning, Kristen.
Okay. The oldest is 16 right now. She just got her driver's license. But the first time I took her out with her permit, we were driving just on the side streets, and she braked a little too close to a car. And of course, I'm yelling at her, and like brake. And once you once you brake, the car kind of has like a little forward momentum. Well, she ended up bumping into the car in front of us.
No.
And
Nice.
the person insisted on calling the cops. She was
Oh,
sobbing, and it was
no.
literally her first time out on the road.
Oh,
So,
geez.
I mean, the cop was like, "You're fine. You can go." But I mean, it was very traumatizing. First time out on the
Tough
scenic
luck.
road,
You,
let me
first
tell you.
day out learning to drive, and you run into Karen.
Yeah.
Thanks,
guys.
You know, what a perfect place to mention that if you get in an accident, call Accident Law Group and our buddy Joe Brown
I
first.
told Colin that. I'm like, listen, if you're out on the road, you got to call my friend Joe Brown.
Yeah, you don't
ALG.
even call your own insurance agent because, you
Never
know,
call the
whatever.
insurance.
All right. He's the one who sponsored our $10,000 callback, which we're going to give that $10,000 away shortly. Secret Show tickets in just a minute.
We're all insane.
All right, good people.
Bye.
We shall see you tomorrow in the morning. Good luck to Rochelle and good luck to Jennifer. We'll see you back here bright and early.